The most important thing that you can do when you're trying to start and expand your own online business is to be productive. And I know this is not the sexiest thing to say. People love to hear about the latest, newest tactic or strategy or money-making idea or a new way to get traffic to your website. All these kinds of things are very exciting. Truth be told, the thing that really sets you apart, especially early on, is your ability to be productive. Because let's face it, building a business is hard. Despite lots of voices telling you how easy it is, at the end of the day, it takes hard work, dedication, persistence to be able to build the business of your dreams. Now, 21% of workers actually believe they're being productive throughout the whole day. So what does that mean? That means that 80% of them approximately are not productive. They know it themselves. They know in their heart of heart, they are not productive. Now, I consider myself one of the 21%. I pride myself actually on the ability to get a lot of work done on a daily basis consistently, all throughout the day, every day. Now, because of this, people ask, how do you get so much stuff done? And I'd like to show you. There are actually 6 different things that I'm going to go over with you that help me stay productive all day long. Let's get into it. Productivity hack number 1, no morning ritual. You may have heard of this from guys like Alex Hormozy talks about this, but this is something that I can tell you myself. All these rituals, you heard about rituals where people need to get up and do certain things each morning and follow a particular path and do certain actions in order to be productive. Throw it all out. I know a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners who are into like health hacks, morning rituals. They have to do these things in order to kick themselves into gear and get things done. Things like cold showers, sauna, meditation, breathing techniques, red light therapy, on and on and on. Now, there's nothing wrong with these things. And in fact, several of them I believe are incredibly useful to your health. But the problem is when these are things that you must have, like you have this non-negotiable attitude that if you don't do your red light therapy in the morning, you can't be productive. Right? If you have that kind of a mental attitude, it actually harms your productivity. It doesn't help it, it harms it. You can do all of these healthy things, but don't make it part of a ritual that you have to do. And your time is valuable. If you start putting all these things and trying to cram them into your schedule every day, you could be chewing up the first 45 minutes, the first 2 hours of your day before you actually get any productive work done. So these are things that they're nice to have. So they're beneficial, but you can't make them a requirement in order to get work done. And they get in the way and they actually interfere. And it makes your day-to-day schedule and productivity, it's like too rigid. You're not able to flex and bend and adjust and adapt. So business owners have to adapt. You have to be able to respond to changes in your environment. Productivity hack number 2, eliminate distractions. Now, I know this sounds simple, right? It sounds sort of a no-brainer really, but you need to eliminate distractions while working. And it is so important today. Now, I can get 10 times more work done when I'm laser focused. If I've got people around me distracting me, if I've got this thing right here is the worst distraction of all. I've got an iPad sitting right in front of me over here. I've got the computer over here. I've got Discord over here. I've got Skype over there. If you have all of these things, constantly pulling you in a lot of directions, it really does. Your productivity just drains away. Productivity hack number 3, become unreachable. You'll notice that a couple of these relate to each other. If you become unreachable, you cannot be distracted and you can stay focused. You need to be unavailable. When you need to focus and you need to get work done, you need to have your productivity at its maximum, you just have to become unreachable. Discord, Slack notifications, phone calls, inboxes, all of this stuff just gets in your way and blocks your momentum. You will get more done if you can carve just 4 hours out of your day. That's half of your workday. Take 4 hours out of your day, use it to do focused work, and you'll be shocked at the insane amount of work you can get done. And I notice the more I get done and the better I feel about the work I'm getting done, it's like a snowball effect. So I get a whole bunch done. Then the next day, I feel good about my productivity and I get even more done. And then the next day, even more done. The thing is, outside distractions pulling your attention away, no matter how small, get rid of that momentum and they pull you out of that state and you just don't get things done. And I find I'm not as creative. I'm not as clever about my solutions. And It's just a barrier. Now, productivity hack number 4. This is kind of a tough one. Give yourself less time. You'll find that whatever time you allot and make available during the day, you use it up. So the amount of work you have to do, you will fill up the amount of time you give yourself to do it. It's a very weird phenomenon where if you have a little bit of work to do, but you know you have 6 hours to do it, you'll take 6 full hours to get just a little bit of work done. If you have a tremendous amount of work to get done and you still only have 6 hours, somehow you'll get it done. And it's just something about that is very interesting and very strange, how whatever the time is, no matter how little or big amount of work you have to do, you will consume that time. So pack yourself full of work. I mean, the worst case is you don't finish everything in your allotted time. So if you have to get everything done in 6 hours, jam yourself full of stuff, even if it's a little bit unrealistic. Worst thing is, a few things will fall off your battle plan and move into the next day's productivity, right? But push yourself to get more done than humanly possible and force yourself to cram it into little windows of time, and you will find out that you get a heck of a lot more done. Productivity hack number 5, and I see a lot of entrepreneurs mess this one up. You've got to have quality sleep. I can't tell you how important that is. I can't stress it enough. Now, I think a lot of people get into a mode where they stay up late for various reasons. It could be consuming entertainment. It could be hanging out with friends. It could be that you work too much and you're trying to be productive. So you work a lot of hours and you go to bed really late, right? Or you get up too early in the morning or whatever it might be. But it's night and day difference when you just get enough sleep. Don't overcomplicate this. It's very simple. Just get enough sleep. Now, if you're struggling with getting enough sleep, first, you can just get rid of caffeine after 3 o'clock, okay? 3 o'clock in the afternoon, stop drinking caffeine. If you're still having a problem, cut back caffeine even more. Caffeine can mess up your sleep. Lucky for me, it's not a problem for me. I can actually consume caffeine quite late and still get to bed and still get a good night's sleep. But that's not for everyone. Some people need to cut it out in order to get good sleep. Now, magnesium. This is something that a lot of people are deficient in. Of course, I'm not a medical doctor. I can't diagnose you, but I've found that the modern diet seems to be very deficient in magnesium. And things like, they call it CalMag. You'll find different mixtures of calcium and magnesium drinks that you can usually pour into water. There's a few different ones. There's one by Neutrina that I take, but even just a simple magnesium supplement can help. But take it before bed. So magnesium before bed can make a massive difference in your sleep. The other thing is exercise. If you're not exercising, you really need to get that into your routine. I make sure that I'm in the gym 2 to 3 times a week. Even if I hate it, I don't want to do it, I go anyway. Even if I do a shortened workout and just work out for 20, 30 minutes, I just got to get myself to do it. Got to get myself to stay active. It's just too easy today to sit on your darn chair all day long or on the couch when you get home and you're tired and you're not doing any activity, and it's going to ruin your sleep. So the other thing, the obvious one, is to also limit screen exposure at bedtime. So you'll find there are different modes you can put your phone into. Dark mode to change the nature of the light, to dim the lights, to change the color of the light, things like that. That helps, but try to eliminate light from devices late in the evening. And that also messes up your circadian rhythm and can mess up your sleep patterns. Another thing that I do is every day when I wake up, and this, depending on where you are in the world, this may be easier or harder, but I make sure I get some sun exposure. Even if it's a little cold outside, I get up in the morning and I do try to expose my eyes to sunlight, try to expose my skin to sunlight, even just for a little bit. And that helps quite a lot. It seems to do something to set off, again, it's like getting that circadian rhythm going and the timing right in your body. Okay, productivity hack number 6. This is the final one. And that is something quite simple. And several of the things I've talked about so far can be kind of condensed into this one thing. And that is, do what you're doing when you're doing it. What the heck does that mean? This means multitasking in times when you have to get stuff done. You're under a deadline, you're under pressure, and you've got to get stuff done. and you're multitasking and handling, whatever it might be that you're trying to get done all at the same time. I'm guilty of this. I'm really guilty of, I might be consuming a piece of content. I might be text messaging someone. I might be Discording someone, all while I'm trying to get a sales funnel complete, launched. And this really, really messes me up. And I have to have a lot of discipline myself personally to do this last hack. And that requires that I stay focused and I do what I'm doing when I'm doing it. I don't multitask. I'm present in the moment. I'm very intentional and methodical about what I'm trying to get done. But that actually can lead to kind of a day that's kind of a bummer. If you're just hyper-focused and just a productivity machine all day long, you can burn out. So I intentionally waste time. So rather than wasting time on accident, where you might be, maybe you're consuming a YouTube video, or maybe, you're browsing through social media, or you're sipping a coffee staring at the sky. I don't know. But if you're doing these things unintentionally, just sort of kind of doing them, it's not as good as I will intentionally decide I'm going to go waste time. I'm going to take 10 minutes. I'm going to go outside and I'm going to do absolutely nothing. And I'm going to go stare at the mountain, look at the sky, watch a YouTube video, chit chat with my wife, whatever it might be. But I'm intentionally doing it. I'm not sort of doing it while I'm sort of doing something else. I'm doing exactly what I'm doing when I'm doing it with full 100% focus. So waste time intentionally, on purpose. Schedule some time wasting in your day and be present in the moment. So your intention is in and you're focused on what you want to do, what you want to accomplish, but also you can waste time with purpose, okay? And the other thing is just don't consume media. It's so easy today with these devices to be consuming media of all kinds when we don't need to. And that makes us not present in the moment. And when we're not present in the moment, we don't do a good job in our communication with others. We don't do a good job of being productive, being focused, and getting things done. So there you go. That's the way I strive to stay productive throughout my day. And again, these things are things you have to work at. And still to this day, I work at these things daily to kind of live and embody these principles. And there's plenty of days where I let some of them slip out and, maybe watch too many videos or mess around on social media too much. In fact, I've completely uninstalled a few social media apps from my phone because of that very reason. Like I just keep finding myself wasting too much time. And so I will change my environment and change my, what's happening around me so that I can focus on these six things and get them done. Because let's face it, the freedom that comes from a successful business is worth it. So what if you have to do these 6 things and focus and get a lot done and maybe even have that extra pressure to perform? That's completely worth it when it comes to the value you get from your successful business and the freedom that it will give you.